Hi, I'm Dr. Sinagra from the Sunrise Wellness Center in Sayville. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to change your life. With all the advances in modern medicine, I have a simple question. Are we healthier? Is the quality of our life improving? The answer is no, it's not. Modern medicine has found tremendous ways to prevent us from dying, and we are living longer. But the quality of our life is not improving. We've actually seen an explosion of disease, from type 2 diabetes to autoimmunity. The question is why? I want to pose that question to everybody, and I want to look at the big picture, and that is what I feel is missing. We're not looking at the big picture in health, and that's what we're going to do today. We spend the most on healthcare than any country in the world. We actually spend twice as much as the #2 country. We have the best hospitals, the best medical schools, the best medical doctors. We have the best technology, MRIs, CAT scans. We're not healthy. How could that be? We are only 5% of the world's population, yet we consume 65% of the world's prescription drugs. Let that sink in. 5% of the world's population consuming 65% of the world's prescription drugs. If more prescription drugs was the answer, we'd be #1, but we're not. We're dead last in health of all the industrialized nations. So why are we dead last in the world in healthcare? Because we're using crisis care, the best crisis care in the world, I might add, as healthcare, and they're not the same thing. What the last 65 years has taught us, you cannot medicate your way out of what you lifestyled in. There's a massive difference between looking at a patient and trying to figure out what's wrong with that person and looking at that patient and trying to make them right. I want to introduce you to something called foundational healing. When I heard about it, I said, my God, this is the only thing that's ever made sense in healthcare. Foundational healing is based at looking at a person's foundations, what it takes a human being to be healthy. And we examine those foundations, and we use diet, nutrition, and supplementation to repair those, and now allow a person to heal themselves instead of just treating what's wrong. It sounds a little crazy that in the last 70 years, we haven't done that. We let a person stay sick, we let their diet be wrong, we let their blood sugar be high, we let their gut malfunction, we let their liver not work right, and we just add medication. Instead of saying, let's look at what a human primate needs to be healthy, from diet, blood sugar, liver function, gut function, inflammation, immune function, and so on. Let's repair that, and let's unleash the body's amazing power to heal. That's foundational healing, and it can change your life. At Sunrise Wellness, I've come up with programs for health restoration. Instead of treating what's wrong, I'm going to work at restoring your health. And I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of how we do this. If you're suffering with any type of autoimmune disease, from rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, even MS and lupus, thyroid conditions like Hashimoto's, digestive disorders like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, IBS, even fibromyalgia. These programs will get to the root cause of your problem so you can now heal yourself. And we start with diet. The American diet is atrocious. We have too much sugar, we have no phytonutrients, we have no essential fats, we have too much processed food. Don't even get me into GMOs, because we don't even know what that's going to do. But when we're dealing with people, the first thing we want to do is put you on an anti-inflammatory diet. And basically what I want to do is I want to give you what primate mammals are supposed to eat. We've gotten so far away what we're designed to eat, what nature put on this planet for us to eat, that it's a major cause of our problems. The second thing I want to discuss is blood sugar. Oh my Lord. Big gulps, Coca-Cola, bread, pasta, potatoes, rice. Simple carbohydrates are destroying us. We're not designed to eat that much sugar. And the funny thing is, people don't realize that most carbohydrates don't come in the form of Coca-Cola, table sugar, or a Milky Way. It comes as a bagel, a slice of pizza, rice, energy drinks, things of that, to that nature. I was actually watching two kids in a deli, and they were drinking Mountain Dew, eating some bag of trash, and I looked at the Mountain Dew, and they left it 77 grams of sugar in one bottle. That, in a nutshell, is just killing us. We have to get our blood sugar stable. When we spike it, it crashes, and now we have to kick in our adrenal glands. We're not designed to do that. Primate mammals' blood sugar should be like a wave. They forage all day. Carnivores sit down for a kill. and they gorge and they have these massive meals and then they might not eat for 3 or 4 days. But primates were supposed to forage all day. Our blood sugar should be like a wave. Stabilizing your glucose can have dramatic positive effects in making your body able to heal itself. The third thing I want to talk about is gut function. Now, when I talk about the gut, I mean the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and colon. Everything that we do in the West destroys the gut. Even good things like chlorinated water. Well, how does chlorinated water work? Well, it stops the spread of disease through chlorine, kills bacteria. What's in your gut that you need? Good bacteria. Gut function is under a complete assault in this country by processed foods, too many simple carbs, not enough vegetables, not enough phytonutrients, not enough minerals. As we destroy the gut and the gut bacteria, now our gut lining starts to leak, something called leaky gut. When that happens, your immune system just goes into psycho mode, and we get all this massive systemic inflammation. Every commercial you hear on TV is about inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. Why is our bodies becoming so inflamed? What we put into it and the damage that it does. The third thing is those massive overuses of antibiotics. If you try to affect the health of this country in a sinister way, which I don't think they did, but the overuse of antibiotics in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even to this day, has done more damage to human health than I can think of. By killing that good bacteria, that microbiome gets destroyed. Now our guts start to leak, we get chronic inflammation and autoimmune disease. Last but not least, I want to talk about mitochondrial dysfunction. The mitochondria are in every cell of the body. The mitochondria are the lipa in the cells. It takes fat, oxygen, and glucose and creates ATP. ATP is what our body uses for energy. Mitochondria are in every cell. And a healthy cell does two things. It creates energy and it dies. And people look at me like, what do you mean it dies? A healthy cell does its job and it dies. A sick cell doesn't do its job and doesn't die. It's called senescent. So senescent cells in our body are when our body and our organs are loaded with cells that don't do their job and don't die. That's how we stay sick. There are ways to repair the mitochondria with nutrition and even fasting and some other techniques that we use. But by repairing the mitochondria, we are on a cellular level, increasing how your cells work. Also understand one thing. When your cells and when your mitochondria start to malfunction, instead of using oxygen as their primary source, they will switch to sugar, glucose. They go from aerobic to anaerobic. That's cancer. So the best thing that you can do to slow the aging process and prevent cancer is keep your mitochondria working properly. And that is one of the main foundations in foundational healing, repairing that mitochondria. Foundational healing is an incredible way to restore body function and allow your body to heal itself. Remember, there is nothing more powerful in healing than a body that's working properly. Also, you've never been given permission to believe in your body's ability to heal itself. We've always been taught if there's not a drug for it, we can't help it. Nothing could be further from the truth. Restore proper body function and let the magic happen. You can be healthy, you could do more than treat, you could heal. I'm sitting here with my patient Dawn, and Dawn's had some incredible results at Sunrise Wellness Center with our health restoration programs. Hi Dawn, how are you?
Hi Doc.
Glad you could make it.
Thank you.
Dawn, we met I guess around 2011, 12, in that range. I remember the day when you came in. What I remember about when we first met was I was looking at a woman that was basically non-functional. I remember the struggles you were saying just to handle your daily tasks of getting dressed and taking a shower. What were you diagnosed with? What were your three main conditions?
I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, lupus, and scleroderma.
So those are three pretty serious autoimmune conditions.
Yes.
Now, standard medical care for those were to treat the effects of the autoimmune problem. So they had you on some pretty powerful medications, did they not?
Yes.
Weren't some of them almost like a chemotherapy type?
Yes. Yep. I went in monthly.
Did you feel when you were under the medical care that you were improving?
No, I honestly felt like this was as good as it was going to get.
Did you feel like you were possibly deteriorating?
I was afraid of that.
And one of the things with autoimmune disease is that people tend to just progressively get worse, and even when they're under proper medical care. So when we first met and your health was going down, what was your first gut feeling when I told you could possibly get better?
Honestly, I said you had me at hello.
Because you wanted to get better.
Yeah, I wanted to get better. I knew it was going to work. Something inside knew it was going to work.
So for people watching, I want them to understand, how was this affecting your quality of life?
Just, I just existed, and every day was just hoping that it wouldn't get worse. And, you kind of get used to this horrible feeling of struggling.
Was it a challenge to say that just for you to do the basic things like eat, shower, get dressed, put on clothing, get to a job, were those basic fundamental things affected?
Yes, definitely. It was a matter of if I got dressed, I felt like I met a goal for the day. I mean, it sounds sad.
It's funny. I do remember some of the things you said. When you said just to get dressed and get out and to get you were also so fatigued at that point you could not even function. So you were understanding medical care and you were diagnosed with all these autoimmune conditions, and you came in to see me. And the first thing I told you is that I could help you. And I remember your face. You wanted to believe me, but you weren't so sure, which is human nature. We understand that. So we started you on the wellness program, the health restoration program, and the first thing we did is change your diet.
Correct.
And if I remember correctly, you were so inflamed. You looked puffy. How did you take to the diet? Was it difficult or was it easy?
Okay, well, honestly, in the beginning, it was a little bit of a struggle to wrap my head around switching from what I was eating, which was not healthy, to what you recommended. But then, once I got it, it's easy.
I always tell people the diet's not hard.
Right.
Calculus was hard.
Right.
The diet, it can be a pain in the butt,
right,
but it's not hard. So we changed your diet and we started working on rebuilding your foundations, your blood sugar, your gut function, your immune function, adrenal glands, repairing your microbiome. How much weight did you lose?
I lost a lot of weight really quickly, and total about 50 to 75.
50 to 75 pounds.
Yeah.
But the main thing about our program, and what I want the people who are listening to know, is we empowered you so that you could, when you're done with our program, you could now take that knowledge and move forward. So it's been many years since you first
Yes.
here, and now you don't look like someone suffering from 3 autoimmune diseases. You look like someone that's living a beautiful life, healthy, and enjoying a high quality of life. Is that safe to say?
That's very safe to say. I consider myself fortunate that I took this step. It was, like I didn't know, like you said, I wasn't sure if it was going to help. I was hoping that it would maintain me, and I got the gift of having a great life.
And the one factor that we try to do is always empower you, not empower disease. We want to empower you that with your effort, there's so much you can do to regain your health. So you went from this person that was suffering from all these autoimmune diseases, your quality of life was terrible. We repaired you, we empowered you with the knowledge of supplementation and diet to move forward. And here we are now in 2019, and you look beautiful, and your quality of life is great.
I think it's also important to mention that within 6 months I was off the drugs.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming in today. Having the ability to come out and tell people your story and to share that. I want people to understand you can do more than treat, you can heal. Dawn's a perfect example. Dawn, thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
in today.
Doc.
Okay. Too many people I meet with illness, they put it on like a sport coat. I have this, I have that, and they don't want to take off the sport coat. Give us a call. The consultations are always free. Let me show you how to unlock the power of your body to heal itself. I look forward to meeting you in the office. Thank you.